Coming up, get the party started with a backbending broomstick trick.
Power up with an incredible saltwater battery.
Make a magnet-powered ball-bearing blaster.
And put the sun to work making dried fruity treats.
Dried fruit! Yum, yum, yum. Once I get started, I just can't stop.
In that case, we'd better get the show started too. Over to Zach and Nicole.
My dad's taking Nicole and me camping next weekend. And we've been put in charge of the catering. Baked beans for dinner, and then my famous apple pie for dessert. Oh no! You're not going to believe this, Nicole. We forgot to buy dried apples for my campfire cooked apple pie. We've got lots of fresh apples though. And look outside. The sun is blazing hot. Here, catch. I've just had a fruity idea. Perfect. This cardboard box will make a brilliant solar-powered apple dryer. First, I cut 4 long strips out of one side of the box. There. This is where dry air will be able to get in. Now, I'm making 2 more holes in the sides. This is where moisture from the apples can escape. Oh, all this cutting is hurting my hand. You take over the scissor work, Nicole. 1 big hole cut in this side, please. I found a sheet of perspex in the garage. It'll be our drying window. It lets the sun's rays inside and stops the heat escaping. Looks cool, but we're not ready to stick it down just yet.
I'm off to football camp tomorrow morning. The bus is really early. I better set my alarm so I wake up in time. Here it is. Uh-oh, it's not working. Looks like the battery's gone flat. I'll never wake up in time without my alarm. Time to make an emergency battery. Okay, watch closely. You never know when you may need this. Strip the plastic cover off 4 bits of wire. Just a few centimetres at each end. On 3 of the wires, wrap the exposed bit at one end in foil, like this. Make sure the copper wire is all covered up. Now, I have 3 tall glasses here. I tape a foil end into the first glass, then the copper wire end into the next glass, another foil end into the second glass, and the wire end goes into the third glass. The last foil end goes here into the third glass. Leave this copper end hanging out for a minute. I need to stick 1 more wire into the first glass. No foil on this one. There. Each glass should now have 1 foil and 1 strip of wire inside it. I'm left with these 2 exposed copper ends. No electricity running yet. I'll tape 1 wire to each of the terminals in my alarm clock. Okay, that's looking good. Now I fill each glass with really salty water. Make sure the bottom of each wire end is covered, but don't cover the whole thing. That's it, done. My alarm clock should be working. Yeah, what a genius.
All batteries contain chemicals that react to produce electricity. In Jordan's homemade battery, the chemical reaction occurs when the salt water reacts with the copper in the wire and the aluminium in the foil. An electric current is created, which flows through the circuit and into the alarm clock, powering it up.
I can sleep easy tonight. There's no way I'll miss that bus to camp now.
Way to go, Jordan. Nothing like a bit of ingenuity.
Speaking of which, Zach and Nicole's ingenious solar fruit dryer is starting to come along very nicely indeed.
Okay, here's where we get high-tech. Polystyrene pieces for insulation. They'll keep in the heat our black box absorbs from the sun. How clever am I? Perfect insulation. And because it's white, the polystyrene reflects the sunlight towards the fruit. Speaking of which, what will we sit our fruit on? Oh, good one, Nicole. One of Mum's cake racks. Perfect. It let the dry air pass the fruit. Now, what have I forgotten? Of course! A fly screen. We don't want insects on our drying fruit. We'll use it to cover up the air holes. A bit of sticky tape will hold it in place. And a bit more to attach the Perspex window on top. We even made a hinge so you can lift it up. Our Super Deluxe Solar Dryer is ready for its moment in the sun.
Whoa! I never realized Larissa was so good at this game. Time for emergency tactics. I'll just smash her ball out of the way. Haha, nice shot. Tough luck, Larissa. These balls are a blast, but they don't have the awesome power of my ball-bearing accelerator. Check this out. One metal ruler. I'll lay that down there. I also have a few strong magnets here. One goes there, a few centimeters from my end. A bit of tape to keep it in place. Now I'll stick on 1, 2, 3 more magnets at about 5 centimeters apart. There, 4 magnets. Now for some heavy metal, big ball bearings. 2 in there, 2 in there, 2 more in there, and 2 more on the end. Now watch what happens when I roll a ball into this end of the line. Just a little flick and wham! The power from my push gets turned into an awesome blast-off. Let's go to the replay. The ball starts out slow, and then whooshka!
Magnetic pull makes the first ball accelerate and hit the magnet with more energy than it would have if it were hitting another ball. The movement energy, known as kinetic energy, is transferred through the magnet and the next ball into the following loose ball. Once moving, it accelerates even faster towards the next magnet, and so each moving ball travels faster than the one before it.
Awesome! Oh no! I wouldn't like to see that ball moving at super speed.
Goodness, I can't believe how quickly those little ball bearings move.
Yep, but when it comes to quick thinking, I reckon the prize has to go to Jasmine and her little trick with a floating cork.
Yum! This grape juice is my favourite. What's the matter, Sam? I thought you wouldn't mind if I finished the juice. Okay. Whoever can float one of these corks, right in the middle of the drink, can have the rest. You go first. It's starting out in the middle, but it finished up floating to the side. Bad luck, Sam. You had your turn. Now, what's your real expert? I just top up the glass with a bit more juice. It's almost overflowing. Now my cork. That should do it. Yep, it's staying right in the centre.
Because the molecules in liquids like to hold on to each other, they form an invisible skin on the surface known as surface tension. When the glass is full to the brim, surface tension allows the drink to form a bulge higher than the top of the glass. The cork will always float to the highest point, which on the bulge is right in the middle.
That drink is all mine. And I won it fair and square.
Poor China. Her party is a bit of a flop. No one seems to be having a good time. Well, it's her party. I suppose she can cry if she wants to. Or I could show them my favourite party trick. This will get everyone laughing. Watch this. My hands will never leave the broomstick. Step over, up the back, and over the head. Now my arms are all inside out. Time to get untangled. Swing it back, over the head, step through, and my arms are back to normal. Go get a broom and give it a whirl.
Even though our skeleton is made up of hard bones, we're quite bendy thanks to our joints. The most bendy joints are the ball and socket joints in our shoulders and hips. A ball of bone fits neatly into a cup shape and is held in place by muscles and tough connectors called ligaments. This type of joint allows a very wide range of movement in all directions.
I knew my party trick would get this joint jumping. All we needed was a little icebreaker. Or in this case, arm breaker.
Awesome! Let's give that party trick a go, Dana.
No, I can't bear to let go of this. And I can't wait to see how Zach and Nicole are going to make even more dried fruit.
Okay, our solar fruit dryer is ready for some drying action. We certainly have plenty of sun today. Using a couple of bricks, we angle it towards the sun. In goes the cake rack and close it up. Mum cut us some thin slices of peeled apple. We just spread them out on the rack like this and close the window. There, sun baking time, little apples. These are going to make delicious apple pie. It's been 2 hours. Time to check on the apple. Hey, they've gone brown and floppy. Each piece is much smaller too. Let's leave them here to catch some more rays.
Because of the solar dryer's heat-trapping design, the apple heats up. It then loses water from its cells as warm, moist air rises out through the upper vents. Dry air from outside is continually drawn in through the bottom vents and over the fruit. Drying is an age-old way to preserve food. It works because microbes that spoil food need moisture to survive.
Okay, we're ready to head off camping today. Time to pack up our dried apple. Hey, it looks really dried. Now for the taste test. Delicious. In fact, it's so good, don't think we'll be able to save any for my apple pie.
Oh dear, all that fabulous dried fruit will be finished before they know it.
Just like us, Dana, because we've come to the end of another show. See you next time.
Coming up, mix up a batch of fake bath that's a guaranteed gross out.
Find out if your friends are heavier than water.
Build a junkyard crane to clean up your bedroom.
And discover why no one can hear you scream in space.
Does that mean that when you scream in space, it sounds like this?
Yeah, sure does, Dana. And find out why in just a moment. But first, let's see what Zach's up to.
I'm supposed to be tidying up my bedroom. Mum's orders. It's my mess. Why can't I just live in it? I love my toy cars. Where's that magnet I saw earlier? It's around here somewhere. There it is. See? Who needs to tidy up? I know where everything is. This is a junkyard crane lifting up a car wreck. Ready to throw it on the scrap heap. Why don't I make a real junkyard crane with a working electromagnet? It'll help me clean up the cars in my bedroom junkyard.
Hey Lara, I've got a balance brain teaser for you. You see these two glasses? They've got exactly the same amount of water in them. So they both weigh the same. And just to prove it, I'll balance them on a ruler. There, a set of water scales. Now, if I drop a coin into one side, we know coins sink, but does it make the glass heavier too? Yep, the weight of the coin is added to the water.
I've taken the coin out. Let's see what happens if I just touch the water. It's making this end heavier, but I'm not even touching the glass. When I take my finger out, the scales balance again. Why does poking a finger into the water make it heavier?
Good question, Ashley. When you put your finger in the glass, it takes the place of some of the water, which causes the water level to rise. This is known as displacement. The glass becomes heavier not by the weight of Ashley's finger, but by the weight of the water it displaces. Whether the object doing the displacing is heavy or light makes no difference. The glass only becomes heavier by the weight of the water that is displaced.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. But now I have another question. How much water do we displace? Only one way to find out.
Ooh, I hope that water wasn't too cold. That's not what friends are for.
No, it's not, Taryn. Friends are for helping you with your latest invention.
Mr. Crane Driver here, and my buddy Fraser are helping me build a junkyard crane. Now this folded red card is going to be the crane arm. I'll just poke a hole through here with a pencil, feed a cotton reel on, and poke that out the other side. And now I do the same thing at the other end. 2 cotton reels. I attach the string to the first one. It runs over the second reel like this. Now attach the crane arm to the top of the cabin with a pin. And we have a moving junkyard crane. Cool! Time to build an electromagnet to power up this bad boy. This is a large steel nail. I'm going to wrap it up in a tight coil of electric wire. Starting at one end, I wrap it all the way along. Nice work with the star stripes, Phrase. The more wire on the nail, the better. Finished. I left long wires hang off each end, and the nail is neatly wrapped in its wire coil. Good job, Fraser. The crane is looking very flashy. Speaking of flashy, it's nearly time to power up my magnet. I'll attach alligator clips to my wires. Red on one end, green on the other. Now I feed the electromagnet through here. And the nail needs to hang from the crane arm. So I attach it to the string that can be lifted by my cotton reel. And this is how I'm going to lift things up using my electromagnet.
Where I live, the weather is always hot. But there's a really nice breeze up here in the balcony today. You can feel the wind on your face. And you can see the wind blowing things around. I know how to hear when the wind is blowing too. We just need a few metal objects from the kitchen and we can make a wind chime. Tie a length of fishing line to each object. Leave yourself enough line to tie them to a wooden rod. Hang each one at around the same height. So when we put the wind chime in the breeze, the metal things all bump together. Now I'll be able to tell when there's a cool breeze blowing outside just by listening out the window.
The oxygen and nitrogen molecules that air is made from push on Sally's wind chime as they pass over it. We hear the sound it makes thanks to those molecules. Sound travels as energy waves, and they need something to travel through, like nitrogen and oxygen molecules. In space, where there's no air molecules to convey energy waves, there's no sound.
No sound? Boy! I'm sure glad I live here on Earth. There's air to breathe and sound to enjoy.
There are lots of sounds to enjoy here on Earth. Birds singing, waves crashing, music playing.
What about the sound of Jade vomiting? That's all Damon can hear right now.
Poor Jade has an awful tummy bug. There she goes again. She has the pukes, all right. Yuck. Just the sound is enough to make me want to bath. It's my job as a friend to cheer Jade up. And I know just the thing to do it. I'm gonna need this fruit bowl and a bit of gelatin dissolved in warm water. Hold Hold on, Jade. A good belly laugh is what she needs. In goes 1 can of pea and ham soup. Yuck! The soup looks like vomit already. A bit of gelatin will thicken it up nicely. Uh-oh! The sicky splashing sound has set Jade off again. Whoa! Yuck! Now for the finishing touches. A pinch of oatmeal for a bit of texture. And some chopped carrot. Why is there always carrot and puke? Look at that! It's so realistic I can almost taste it. Here comes Jungle Belly Jade. I'll get my sick joke ready. Spread out a nice plateful. Oh, wait till she sees this. She's gonna think this is so funny. But first I need to let it sit in the fridge for half an hour.
Vomit is simply the contents of your stomach and intestines which the body sometimes forces out through the mouth when there is something wrong. There's often carrot in vomit because carrot takes a long time to digest and can remain in the stomach for a few days. Along with half-digested food, there's also slimy mucus, stomach acid, and a stinky alkaline chemical called bile. Bile is made by your liver and sent to the intestines to help with the digestion of fats.
Hey Jade! You're not the only one around here who's been sick. What? She seems grossed out. Hey, this is delicious.
I've been out picking flowers in the park. Look at this beautiful bunch of lavender I collected. They smell so nice. I wish flowers lasted forever. Then I could always have them around my bedroom to enjoy. Hey, wait a minute. I've seen dried flowers that do last forever. I have an idea. This is borax laundry powder. Mum uses it to get our clothes really clean. I know it absorbs any moisture that comes near it. So I put plenty in the bottom of this box, pop the lavender on top, then cover it up with more borax. Make sure each stem is well coated. Now I'll tape the box closed so no moist air gets in from outside. That's done. All I have to do now is wait. About a week should do it. Okay, 7 days later, and it's time to check on my lavender. Hey, well, it's certainly dry. Shake the borax crystals off, and I have one bunch of beautifully dried flowers. And they still smell gorgeous.
Borax crystals form naturally when mineral-rich water evaporates from lakes. It's so absorbent that it will soak moisture out of the air or anything around it. A thick coating is enough to draw the water out of the cells of Grace's flowers. Without water in the cells, the fungus and bacteria that cause plant material to decompose cannot survive.
I'll put these in a vase. Beautiful dried lavender. Now I just need to remember not to water it.
I wish someone would give me a bunch of flowers. Oh, Taryn, you're so sweet.
I may be a flower lover, but I also like big loud machines like Zach's electromagnetic crane.
It's time to power up my giant of the junkyard. Hope it works. The alligator clips go onto the battery terminals. Now, let's see if my magnet can pick up a paper clip. The nail is coming down. And yes! My machine has picked up its first bit of junk. When I wind in the string, it lifts the junk right up. Nice job, junkyard dog.
When an electric current passes through a wire, it creates a magnetic field around it. If the wire is wound into a tight coil, the magnetic field is concentrated at the coil's center. The magnetic field inside the coil causes the tiny magnetic fields that occur naturally in the metal of the nail to be aligned in one direction. When this happens, the nail becomes a powerful magnet.
Now to move those old cars of mine. Let's start with that blue one. Down comes the magnet. And check that out! My electromagnet crane can even lift a car. This old car is going to the scrap heap. Let her drop, Mr. Crane Driver.
Zach's having so much fun with that crane, I don't think he'll ever get his tidying up finished.
Our fun's finished for today, though, because we've reached the end of another show.
See you next time. Coming up, build a giant crane with the strength to pinch a picnic.
Get comfortable anywhere with an outdoor airbed.
Send your toys flying with the power of leverage.
And how to make sure you win at tug of war.
Okay, Dana, now take the strain and pull. Hey, you're stronger than I thought.
Well, us girls can do anything boys can do, and we usually have a trick up our sleeves. Just ask Lara and Emily.
Emily and I have taken over the balcony. The boys have lost their base. So down with their pirate flag and up with our own. Haha, bad luck, boys. Now the balcony belongs to us girls. Hey, they've got a picnic. It must be a feast. They can hardly carry it. Yummy drinks, cream buns. They're plain dirty. Look at them pigging out on that feast. We're missing out and we're both really hungry. There's got to be a way of getting our hands on their feast without surrendering our new base. But that basket looks too heavy for us to carry. Hey, this flagpole has given me a great idea. We're going to build a basket-lifting crane and help ourselves to that feast. Hey, Kimberly! Try out my new paper folding trick. Fold a square of paper in half, corner to corner, and crease. Unfold the paper, then fold the corners in like this. Kim's getting the hang of it. Fold the base over to make a triangle. Fold the bottom two corners into the middle. Then fold the base over like this. Now fold the two bottom corners in one last time. And fold the whole thing down the middle. Excellent. Now stick a pretty paper seal to the triangle. Beautiful. Okay, now to start training. Watch my seal move for the fish. Okay, boy. Up, up. Good boy.
The way Carrie-Anne folded the paper leaves most of its mass in the centre near the pivot. But as the paper starts to open outwards, the centre of gravity shifts. Instead of being in front of the pivot, the centre of gravity moves behind it. So it tips and the seal sits up.
What's Kim made? Hope that's not meant to be me. It is me. Now she's got me doing seal tricks.
I think I'd be flattered if someone made a paper puppet of me. I wouldn't be so happy if someone made a fool of me, though. And that's exactly what Lara's about to do to the boys.
Emily and I have been defending our base from the boys for hours. And we're starving. Time to build a clever crane to help us grab their feast. We can use this pulley, rope and flagpole. I'll make a hook out of this old coat hanger. Stretch it out a bit and tie the rope to the base. Nice and secure. Okay, time to give our basket crane a go. Emily will hold the base of the flagpole while I lower the hook. Excellent. The boys are dozing off after a big lunch. Down goes the hook. I just need to get it through the handle of the basket. Yes! Got it.
Okay, up she comes. Oh no! It's too heavy! Emily can't take the weight on the end of the pole. We'll have to put it back down. At least the boys are still asleep. Our basket crane needs to be a bit stronger, and we better figure out how before those boys wake up.
I like reading out here in the fresh air. These steps aren't very comfy though. But Mum won't let us bring her good cushions outside in case they get dirty. There must be some way of getting comfortable though. Let's try making a garbage bag into a big cushion. I'll fill it with air and tie it up with an elastic band. Woohoo! This is going to be a big cushion. Okay, that's full of air. On goes the elastic band. And we have our very own cushion. Hey Zach! I made something to make you a little bit more comfortable. Try it out. Whoa, it's not strong enough. Sorry, but that was pretty funny. Sit tight, Zach. I have another idea for a comfy cushion. We are going to make a super-sized airbed. Here's a giant plastic bag. And we're going to fill it with lots of small plastic bags. Each one needs to be full of air. I'm going to put a bit of confetti in as well to make them look funky. Now to fill them with air. We need lots and lots of bags. Phew! I feel a bit dizzy from blowing. Let's fill the big bag, then I can have a rest. Sure you don't want to try it this time, Zach? Okay. Watch this then. Now this is comfortable. I'm floating on air.
When Zach sat down on the garbage bag, his weight pushed down on the air inside. That put pressure on the seams of the bag, which are not strong enough to hold so much pressure. When Ashley's weight is shared between lots of little bags, each one only has to support a part of her weight.
I'm so comfortable I don't think I can get up. Now Zach wants an airbed too. Okay. I'll go get more bags. But don't steal my airbed.
How comfy! It must feel like you're flying along on a cushion of air.
Speaking of flying through the air, Grace is about to get Jade's favourite toys airborne.
I'm not allowed to go next door and play with Jade until she's finished all her homework. But I can't wait forever. I want to return her toys to her. And I know just how to do that without going next door. My trusty toy launcher will send them flying over the fence. I taped a can of beans on top of a shoebox. Now this length of timber is held in place by elastic bands. There. It's like a toy-sized seesaw. First off is Daisy the cow. Good luck, Daisy. Whoops, that's no good. It just goes straight up. Okay, at the moment the plank is even on both sides of the tin. What if I pull it down like this, so there's more length on the side that Daisy takes off from? The angle looks right. Okay, Daisy, this time it's gonna work. Here goes. Yes! Over she flies. Excellent! Jade's gonna be so happy. Time for Fluffy Bunny to fly. Look at him go! It's perfect.
Grace is using the power of leverage to launch Jade's toys into the sky. On one end of the beam, there is a resistance force or load, Mrs. Moo Cow. At the other end, Grace inputs an energy force with her foot stomp. When the can is midway between Grace's foot and the cow, both ends of the beam travel the same path and the energy comes out in the opposite direction to how it went in. When the can is closer to Grace's foot, the other end travels further and faster than before, throwing the toy off in a different direction.
Cool! Look at them fly. Hey, Jade, did you get them all? Fantastic! Mission accomplished.
The tug-of-war championships are on, and my friends think they have it in the bag. They're playing 2 against 1. Oh, darn! Laugh it up, guys. You do have the advantage, remember? Okay, round 1 to them, but I have a secret weapon for the next round. Not sure? This trusty tree. I'll just get rid of this and start wrapping the rope around the trunk. My opponents think I've gone loopy. I've told them it's so I'm not bowled over by their mighty force. 1, 2, 3, pull! Haha! They're struggling to even budge the rope. They thought I'd be down in mere seconds. Look guys, 1 hand. Now this one, and this one. Hello, weaklings. They're changing places. Maybe that'll help. Check it out, no hands. Sorry guys, but you can't beat me this time, no matter how hard you pull. Yes, they gave up.
When 2 textured surfaces are rubbed together under pressure, friction is created. The harder Beck and Daniel pull on the rope, the tighter it becomes around the tree, and so the more friction Ashley has helping her resist their pull.
Okay, back to the real game. On your marks, get set, pull. Whoops! Look at them go. That was one game worth letting them win.
I think Ashley's tug-of-war tactics may start to cause a bit of friction between her and the other kids.
Yeah, there are lots of crafty tricks being played today. Let's see how Lara goes lifting the boys' picnic.
Emily and I have come up with a better way to use our basket crane. We've leant the pole against the balcony railing. This will help Emily take the weight of the heavy basket as I pull it up. Good, the boys are still asleep. Let's have another try. Nearly. Got it. Okay, now to carefully lift the basket. Yes, it's working. Emily can take the weight, no problem. Brilliant. Time to plunder the pirates' picnic. Oh, yum. It's all ours.
Supporting the pole on the railing made it into a cantilever arm. Cantilevers work by transferring the heavy downward pull at the unsupported end of a beam into an upward force at the anchored end. It's much easier for Emily to deal with the weight of the basket using her body weight than by having to support a downward pull with her arms.
The boys are finally waking up from their sleep. Bad luck, boys. Thanks for the yummy snack. Now you can bring us the main course.
That was a happy ending for the girls, though not so happy for those poor old pirates.
Well, this is a happy ending for us, Dana, because we've come to the end of the show. See you next time.
Coming up, call for room service on a homemade telephone.
Find out why your bony back is so bendy.
Put together a muscular model arm.
And the stinky truth about baked beans and farting. Only one way to find out if baked beans really make you fart, and that means eating a whole can.
I don't think I want to be around to find out what happens. Maybe I can listen in on Carrie Ann's homemade telephone.
Today is the big checkers tournament between Larissa, Jordan and me. But Jordan's missing. Let's go see where he is. Oh no! He's sick in bed. Oh well. Larissa and I will just have to play on without him. Alright, back to the checkers. Hey, was that Jordan calling out? It sounded like him. We better go and check. Jordan needs some more juice. So it was him calling out. How can we make it easier to hear him? I've got it. Let's make a telephone so Jordan can call us. Oops, almost forgot his juice. Sorry, Jordan.
Come on, Michael. Get that body moving. Phew. You're not looking too flexible, Mikey boy. Let's do some stretches. Stretch that back out. Our backs sure are bendy. Well, mine is anyway. Even though there's all that bone running up the middle, I wonder how our backs bend. Come on, Michael. Time to bone up on backbones. The secret to making a model spine is this: marshmallow. They're not for eating. Not yet, anyway. I'll cut a few marshmallows to form 5 sticky pads. These get fed onto a piece of string with a cotton reel between each one. There. This is my model spine. It just needs one more thing. A spinal cord. It's our nerve pathway to the brain, and our backbone protects it. Finished. Turn around, Michael. It bends just like we do.
Your spine is made up of 33 individual vertebrae with a spongy disc between each to keep them from rubbing together. The vertebrae can separate from each other when you want to bend. Your back muscles pull them together again when it's time to straighten up.
So, Michael, your spine is nice and bendy, but can you do this? Ta-da! Hey, where'd he go?
Dana's done a disappearing act on me too. Let's see how Carrie Ann's telephone's coming along while I finish off these beans. Uh-oh.
This old telephone is very broken, but it's gonna come in handy. Ah, thanks, Dad. Nice job. He drilled 2 holes right through this cardboard tube for us. I'd made 2 grooves down to the lead in these big pencils. Okay, poke the big pencils through the holes and wedge our sharpened half pencil between the big pencils so the leads wriggle against each other. Looking good! Let's add a power supply. The wire from one end of this battery attaches to a pencil and the other end to this length of wire. That's going to be our long telephone cable. This side of our telephone cable is connected to the other big pencil. Now we just need a speaker to hear Jordan calling us. This old one from a real telephone has 2 terminals on it. Our long cable connects to them like this. And our homemade telephone is ready to make its first call.
Yum! Baked beans on toast are the best lunch ever. Oh, gross! That's disgusting. Phew! Some boys have no manners. I wonder why beans make people fart. Let's see if we can find out. Damon and I are on a fart fact-finding mission. We're going to get to the, bottom of farting. We're each making a fart machine to see if we can imitate Damon dropping one. He's cutting up a rubber glove. Meanwhile, I'm mixing up a batch of borax laundry powder in warm water. Now for some craft glue. That should do it. A bit of water in there. Mix that together. And my slime is coming along nicely. A bit of food colouring to make it mucky coloured. Red and blue. Now to add my borax mixture. This is the secret to my slime. Damon's busy attaching his rubber glove to a length of hose pipe. That should work. If there's one thing Damon's an expert in, it's farting. Hey, check this out. The craft glue has turned into thick glue. This is going to make great fart material. I just squish some of my sloppy slime into a film canister. Hey, it works! Gross! I am disgustingly clever. Let's hear yours, Damon. What a ripper! That sounds like Damon after a whole can of beans.
The gas inside our digestive system comes from three main sources. We swallow air as we're eating, digestion produces gas in our stomach, and bacteria living in our intestines produce gas as they help to process our food. The sound that farts make is caused by vibration of the opening in our bottoms as the gas is expelled under pressure. Some foods, such as baked beans, contain sugars that us humans can't digest, but the bacteria in our intestines really like. As they feast on the sugars, the bacteria make an extra big batch of gas for us to squeeze out.
So we can blame beans for making us fart. And Damon can blame his belly bacteria for that awful smell.
Hey, Dana, those beans really are giving me wind.
Oh, Taryn, yuck! That's a lot of wind, all right. Nearly enough to blow Saif along in his sailing boat.
I love sailing in my father's boat. There's nothing better than feeling the wind in the sail. With a good breeze, I can sail as fast as anyone. I'd like to build my own boat. Then I could sail away and explore the oceans. If I'm going to build a boat one day, I'd better start practicing. I think I'll start with a raft of corks. I'll tie lots of corks to these wooden sticks. It's just like making a real raft, only smaller. Now for a sail. This sheet of card will catch the wind. That can poke into the middle of the raft. There, ready to hit the high seas. Let's see how she sails. There's some wind blowing down at the water's edge. Yay! Off you go, little boat.
For centuries, people have been harnessing wind energy and putting it to use doing everything from pumping water to grinding flour. These days, we're even turning wind energy into electricity. Hoisting a sail is a great way of capturing wind energy and using it to move a heavy boat across the water. The greater the area of a sail, the more energy it captures and the faster the boat goes.
My very first boat, and it's a beauty. Now I just need to build one big enough to carry me.
Ice blocks. These are delicious. I could eat another one. But Mum said keep our hands out of the freezer until tomorrow. What if something else picked up more ice blocks for us? We can't get into trouble for that. And these sticks are going to do our dirty work. We're going to build a model arm. And these are the bones. Okay, a little cut in the end. Now another one at an angle on the side. There, 2 cuts. Now on the second stick, I make 2 little cuts at one end. Like this. Now take a small elastic band and join the 2 sticks together. Join the notched end of the first stick to the unnotched end of the second. Now bend. And use another small elastic band to join the sticks from the other angle. You get a crisscross of elastic band like this. There. This is the elbow joint on our arm. Time to give it some muscles. Take a long elastic band and attach one end here inside the elbow and stretch it out to join on the other end of the arm. Now stretch a second elastic band from the elbow to the outside of the arm. There! We are armed.
Jade's clever model arm shows how the human arm really works. The bone in our upper arm is called the humerus. Running down the back of the humerus is a muscle called the triceps, which gives you the power to straighten your arm. At the front of the humerus is the biceps muscle. It gives you the power to bend your arm. When your brain tells your arm to move, the relevant muscles quickly fill with blood, which makes them contract and pull on the bones.
Okay, time to put my plan into action. Look, Mum, no hands. Well, not in the freezer anyway. I know that was a bit naughty, but I don't think we did any real arm.
Those two sneaks got away with a second ice block thanks to their clever contraption.
Jordan's about to use another clever contraption to get exactly what he wants too.
Time to install our homemade telephone. Jordan's gonna love this. First, a quick lesson on how to work it. Okay, put the speaking end near Jordan's bed and we'll take the cable back outside with us. Now back to our game of checkers. What's that clicking? Oh, it must be Jordan calling. Yes? Yes? He wants orange juice. Our helpline is working. 1 glass of juice.
When Jordan clicks his fingers, the sound vibrations are picked up by the small pencil. When it vibrates, it momentarily breaks the flow of electricity through the circuit. The speaker at the girls' end turns the interruptions back into sound vibration for the girls to hear.
Finally, back to the checkers. Oh dear! He's calling again! What? A chocolate milkshake and donuts? I think it's time we disconnected this phone for good.
What's that, Jordan? And now you want me to bring you a pizza?
We can't make a pizza, Taryn. We're in the middle of a show.
Jordan says we've reached the end of the show. And hold the anchovies.
See you next time.